Hello and welcome to Picking Principles. Today I've got this KwikSet cylinder that I want to get out of this doorknob that I'm scrapping. But right now you can see that it's in the locked position. I can't turn the knob, and that's because these two bars right here are locking around this post. So I think that's a pretty ingenious and pretty secure little system. This tab right here just needs to be rotated in order to unlock it. So I can do that by thumb. And so when I turn it, I don't know if you saw those two locking pawls go down. So let me show you again. So I'm going to rotate this forward and the locking pawls come up, rotate it backward, and the pawls go down. I can also do it by putting a screwdriver on there, maybe get my fingers out of the way, and just turn this. And you should see, once I turn it, the locking arms come up. And when I bring it back, the locking arms go back down. Now I want to get that out of there, so let me get it to the unlock position. And I'm going to just release it via this tab. You can probably see that tab right there. It's a little locking tab. If I push that in, see how it easily springs in? When I push that in, it releases the locking bar. So I should be able to slide that out. Easier to do it from the front. There, I can pull this archaic looking locking bar like that. I'm gonna put this on a rag so I don't dirty up my towel. And now, let's see, I should be able to fit a couple small screwdrivers down in there and release the springs. Let's see if I can find them. On my cylinder and pop my cylinder out. Too many cooks in the kitchen here. These are too big. I need something maybe a little longer. So that the handles of these screwdrivers don't get in the way of each other. I'm gonna have to pause the video and find something that's a little smaller. I'll be back. Okay, the only thing that I could find that was long enough and would get out of the way is this Allen key that came with the installation of the doorknobs. So I'm going to just try and reach in behind the spring down there. And now it wants to push up because I'm behind the spring, like the spring clamp. And if I can hold it out of the way and get my original screwdriver back in and get behind the second spring, when it comes out, it really is quite nice. All right, I gotta try and pull this in closer to my body. Doing it way out here isn't working for me. So, sorry, once again, I'm gonna pause. Okay, sorry I didn't catch it on camera. It was a real pain. So essentially what I was doing was putting that down there and getting underneath this prong. And then the problem was that this handle was so big, I needed something longer. I didn't end up using anything longer. This did work eventually, and then getting in like this. But because this is so big, it's angling it down and I'm having a hard time getting it up to get to the right area. So what you can see is that the Allen key is long enough to get under this spring. I should have just used a second Allen key. I got lots of these little Allen keys. Get under that spring, and then the screwdriver in at the same time. Screwdriver was having a hard time getting under that prong, but once they did, the whole thing just slid right out. So now I've got it removed, and it's time to do some disassembly of this core from this housing. I'll never need to put that back in. Okay. There's a little clamp right there that looks like it wants to come off. Oh, there we go. All right. Ooh. Okay. I wish I had a key. I do have a regular key that'll fit in here, and I also have the smart key reset. But I'm going to play with this. Oh, see the lighting there. Trying to get you to see the little springs. There they are. So there are pins at the bottom, but there's springs, which aren't quite as shiny at the top. Let's see. There we go. So you can see those pins. Good example is in the middle slot right at the bottom, that solid steel. And then when I catch the light a little differently, there, you can see all the springs all up along the top. Right in there, you can see almost all of them. Bar. Not quite sure what that's for yet. Is that a ball bearing? Is that anti-drill? Ball bearing right there. Anyway, I'm going to play with this a little bit. Maybe get I don't have the key that came with this. Maybe get just any key that will fit in there, then fool around with the smart key system and push that in there and see what everything does. Oh, that bar retracts as well. So that is moving down, the ball bearing behind there as well. Wonder if that has to do with the rekeying. Oh, there's a second pin. Oh, look at that, or second clamp. Okay, I do not have my disassembly tray out here. Oh well. Let's see if I can get that one off. A little spring clamp. Oh, I'm definitely going to want to follow her. Oh, I don't have a key to rotate this. I'll have to pick it. Okay, I'm going to put that back on. All right, bear with me while I get my kit. Okay, I've got my things. I've got this set up in my vise, as you can see. I'm going to throw a 30 thousandths wiper insert into the bottom of the keyway. Yep, that turns. And I've got my standard hook in 25 thousandths. Let's see, no, that's going to block your view. How can I move? Oh, that's going to completely block you. All right, so I've already shown you some of the features of this lock. And off camera, while I was looking at it, I was thinking These aren't standard pins, these are wafers, I betcha. Let me show you why I think that. I've already shown you the springs by looking inside. Let me get the vise out of the way. So I've got this old key that fits in here, and what I noticed is that at the bottom, see that? Those move up and down, in and out with my key, which of course doesn't work, but the only thing on the bottom of this key is flat. So if those are going to move in and out, or up and down, then that must mean that they're wafers. See that? Doesn't that look like wafers? Because the only thing that's going to move them up and down is these keys. And again, there's really nothing that you can see clearly there. You can see stuff bouncing up and down. It's got to be wafers. Let's see if I can just overlift them all. Okay, well, you can see 3 there. Just really jumping out. So it must be a low lift because I'm lifting them all the same and it's up high. Now, I don't really know how to decode wafers or pick them. I've got wafer keys. Let's take a look. They're one-sided, so maybe if I use this, that's too big. This one's pretty small, but it's 3-sided. Single wafer, it's the same as a half diamond, really. That's too big. Let's see what these look like. Need tension. Very difficult to hold this lock and tension it at the same time. Maybe if I put it in my vise. Just get that back into play. All right, let's see, 5, 4, 3. Can't get 2. Oh. Trying to get 2 here. There. Well, that combo of raking and picking didn't seem to do it. Although, whew, dirty. I don't really know what a set wafer feels like with false gates. So who knows if I'm even close to being set. Because everything felt okay. So 2's giving me a real rough go. Oh, there we go. Hey! Oh, don't go too far. Oh man, ooh, that was rough. All right, let me zoom out. I don't want to get everything off camera here. Get back into orientation. All right, well, I'm glad I'm going to take this apart on video because I'm probably going to have to slow-mo it in order to reassemble. So I want to make sure everything is well focused and in frame, because when I take this apart, if it falls apart on me, I want to be able to get it back together. There's the ball bearing. There's the sidebar. Oh, another ball bearing right there. And there's a plate, it looks like right here. I wonder if a shim will fit now. I don't know if it fits that far, but that's it. Oh, there we go. No, I can't get it in. Forget it. This is pretty scary. So I'm gonna put my finger on the back there to hold that bar. I was picking this way, so there should be stuff at the top there. I don't see it. Oh, I can feel the springs moving. Well, there's nothing in here. It's just an empty core. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, it fell out. Sidebar plate. Okay, so small notch on the bottom. There's 2 notches on the bottom, the part that goes inside. And there's a notch on the bottom and a notch at the top toward the front. And there's the 2 little springs that provide the tension for this sidebar. I guess we'll put that up here. And let's get those springs out so I don't lose them. Left spring. That's pretty oily. And right spring, or front and back, I should say, really. They're pretty small. Almost like spools, these springs. They're spool shaped. All right, so the sidebar is out. So this whole thing lifts. There's a spring over here. What's that for? Oh, I know what that's for. Watch this. Where is it? I bet you that pushes. I wondered what this thing did. Nope. I'll bend the spring. And I lost one of see it? Came out of the last slot there. Well, this is super interesting for me. Okay, so this little slider there we go, has got what appears to be a bunch of little serrations. Those are probably the really narrow gates I was trying to get through. I don't know what that slot's for, and maybe that's the gate the bar fits into. So once these are all at the proper height, by picking, the gate will fit into that little, the gate will fit into that little bar, that little cutout on each of them. And then that's how it sinks in. All right, so since this is the back, that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth. Let me put it there. What orientation? Yep, so this is the channel. I'm gonna zoom in on that as well. So right here's the channel that the bar drops into, and then these are the gates. And those have to be slid up and down to line up to hold the bar. And once they're all in alignment, clicking through each of these different serrations, then the bar will drop and the lock will rotate. All right, that's on there pretty tight. I don't want to pull that spring off. I am 100% confident though that that spring is there so that when you use the smart key feature, this whole thing will slide and disengage from these. And these are the, I guess, the key pins or key pin sliders down here. They'll disengage from there, allow them to be reset to whatever height, and slide this back in so that they're in line, and then the bar, and they'll line up with those things, and the bar will remain there. So that gives you new heights. That's how the smart key system works, I think. So I don't really know if I need to take each of these out. They look pretty identical. How are the heights? Well, really hard to see. I need one of those magnifying glasses. But when those are lined up, yep, those are all the same heights. I'm going to put this one back in. Okay. Yep, those all line up at the same height. So I'm going to put that little cover down. Let's see what we can look at here. Because these must be the parts that when you pick them go to different heights. I'm blocking the way. All right, so when I'm in there picking those, oh, they all appear the same too. Look at that. So, all right, I'm going to make a guess here. These nubs at the bottom by my pick must well, good thing I'm not an engineer. All right, this video is getting really long, me babbling on and not figuring anything out. I feel like that's just the cap holding the springs. I don't want to take that off. That sits in there like that. Oh, damn it. I'm just trying to put it back together real quick to get one last look. Oh man, there's a bunch of, I didn't notice that on the other one. It's serrated all on the back side there and on the front, and then a great big gate for the bar to fall into, and that must be kind of like the gate. So bump, 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 true gate, bump, bump, bump. So these must be false gates that you pick into, bump into the true gate, and that lets the bar line up. I am confident that there are people out there that if you've got any patience at all, you've made it to the end of this video and you can tell me what's going on. I'm just going to quickly reassemble that part. to move far. I think that's enough right there for it to disengage. And then I wonder if I can key it to this key. Let's see. Slide that back, put in a key. You're supposed to be able to rotate the core. Of course, that makes no difference in this, because there's no sidebar in there. Oh no, I'm bending that spring again. Okay, remember, goes in, need the springs in first. That's the back spring. And the front spring. Okay, so if I slide that back, insert this old key, slide it forward, and remove the key. I wonder if I rekeyed it to a key that I have. Oh, totally did. Check it out. This is just a key that came from the factory with a lock that I'd purchased a long time ago. And the top two here aren't even cut. It's 1, 2, 3 cuts. 2 low, 1 high. These two right here aren't even cuts. They're like 0 cuts or max lift. And if we look at these pins, these sliders, I mean, look at that. The back two are all the way out. Oh, baby. All right. Oh, nuts. I didn't mark the back end. I think it went on this way. And the bar goes right there when it's locked. So if I go on like this, you know what? I'm gonna have to pause the video and go back and check how this came off so that I can put it on properly. And when I come back, I'll have this reassembled and we'll test the key. Okay, I'm back. Thank goodness for those little markings right there. And me trying to show you all the springs, I was able to put it back together. And insert this old key and rotate freely. So now that I have a key, I can use this key and the smart key to rekey it to any key, and then maybe pop it in a cylinder at some point. Wow, so that's been fantastic. I'd really appreciate if some people had some ideas here for me about what I was seeing, and if you could tell me if what I was thinking about the system was correct. I think maybe it must have been, since I've kind of rekeyed it and set it. Looks like I've only set it to obviously now 3 pins though. So I am going to want to, since I'm going to want to pick this in the future, I'm going to have to rekey this to a 5. There's only 5 sliders in there, so 5-pin lock. But anyway, it's been a marathon. So if you stuck around, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe. And please leave some comments telling me where I went wrong and explaining the system to me if you can. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.